Evening.
Please lock your weapon.
Expect a big ping, brother. The whole body's a weapon. Sorry.
When they start to kill me, run. What the fuck is that?
My name is Sarah Connor. I hunt Terminators.
He's the most lethal Terminator ever created.
I'm going to help you protect the girl.
So you're Carl.
That's what everyone calls me, yes.
I'm never gonna fucking call you Carl. If we don't win this one, it's all over.
There we go. Tickets on sale now. So I think that was the teaser trailer.
Mm.
Well, actually, that might be the real trailer. I think the teaser trailer was twice as long. So that wasn't a teaser trailer because it shows the full bit on the motorway.
Mm.
But good evening, and good evening, Brian.
Hello, how do you do?
Oh, British. Very nice. Very well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Terminator.
Yes. Dark Fate or Dark Fart, as a lot of slurs have been passed around on my YouTube community this week about this.
Oh man, I'm going to be in for a rough ride tonight then.
Well, I think it's got a lot of people that are pro it, but a lot of people don't like it.
Stance defender right here.
We'll see how staunch you are at the end of this. But let's see. Because RJ says this is the worst one by far. The first act ruins the entire franchise.
Not even close. Not even close. Not even close.
I
would rather you dispense with John Connor altogether and give me the lackluster version of him we got in Terminator 3. Because I'm sorry, but I do not buy that guy in Terminator 3 is the leader of the resistance. Not even close. Christian Bale I can buy.
He's tough.
But Nick Stahl, sorry, no.
But yes, yay, the Terminator with Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh wait, it's the other one. Because I didn't realize till today that Linda Hamilton headlines this one.
Yes, as she should.
Is top billing and Arnold second. Because right,
so Terminator is one of my all-time favorite franchises. Has been since day one. I saw the first Terminator film when I was around 9 years old, and it just left an imprint in me. Terminator 2, even better film personally for me. I know, like it's always going to come between 1 and 2. Although I have heard some ridiculous notions that T3 is even better, which is just preposterous. I'm sorry. Smoking crack if you actually think Terminator 3 is the best one. So they're two perfect movies, basically. Yes. And I think coming into any Terminator sequel, you always have to come with the clear thought in mind that it is not going to touch the heights of 1 and 2. I'm sorry, it's just not.
No.
If you can come knowing that, then you got to think, what are we going to get from a Terminator film? What can I hope for? And I think based on them terms. But for me, John Connor isn't even in the first Terminator film, right?
No.
As a kid watching that movie was about Sarah Connor, all right? And even when you get to the second film, it's made absolutely abundantly clear that John Connor is John Connor because of Sarah Connor. Okay?
Yep.
It's always been her story. And for me, when the sequels kind of veered and like really dug into John Connor and in a really crap way with, like, as I say, Nick Stahl, then I kind of lost the interest a bit. But my point is, as someone who really hates the whole DEI stuff that goes on in Hollywood right now, and yes, I'm well aware that Dark Fate definitely has a whiff of that. If there's one franchise that has the right to do that, it's either Alien or Terminator, because it was always about Sarah Connor and it was always about Ripley. So for me, killing John Connor at the start of this, which I know to so many people is this
Spoilers.
big it's this big like, oh, you lost me now. But the whole point is that, and people will say like, oh well, then it's just a repetition of what they did with John Connor. But the whole point of this is that yes, they do it with someone else, and this other person then becomes like the new John Connor. And yawn, it just happens to be a woman. There's your DEI angle right there. That I understand that annoyance for many people. I can have it a little bit myself, but the whole point is it's about Sarah. It's about what she brings to the table. It's about the fact that John Connor was who he was because of her, and now this woman, who is going to become the next leader of this other resistance, is going to be who she is once again because of Sarah Connor. Hence, it was always about Sarah Connor. And that's why I like the fact that, not like, but it's why I accept the idea of killing John Connor here right at the start, getting that out the gate, and then going where they go here. So I don't have a problem with him killing John Connor, and that is why you can. I get some people won't like that reasoning, but that's my reasoning, and I'm fine with it.
Okay. Well, I do have to call you up on one thing. Your pronunciation. It's Sarah Connor. Not Sarah Connor. So
Yeah.
I'll get that straight.
I went to school with a girl called Sarah Connor, and she got so sick and tired of hearing those jokes.
Closest I had was Sarah Cotton, so it didn't really work.
Oh.
Yes, where's Dennis Murren when you need him? And as a matter of fact, where is the goddamn story? Well, this is the first time we've had Arnold, Linda, and what's his name, Jimmy Cammy back as a story writer.
Was he though? Was he?
He was busy with his blue aliens, but he did throw some notes at Tim Miller.
Yeah,
and then they're never working together again.
Yeah, they clashed. It's believed that they clashed quite considerably.
But yeah, that was Professor Pickle on the old Joanna. He looks like Mr. Jones the cat, but yeah, he's.
Well, I came into this before, like I signed in to StreamYard, and Gareth wasn't there. I just saw his screen, and his cat was just sat there staring.
He's giving you evil. He's a good starer, this Pickle.
Yeah, sussing me out before Gareth had to come on.
He's giving you an ocular pat down, and you're passed.
Yeah.
Right. I suppose we better play the film.
Yeah, go for it.
So
it's a shame. I could have done with all that ranting right in this opening scene. Nothing to rant about in the opening sequence now.
But yeah, well, it's a long sequence, so we've got plenty of time. So then it's such a good film, it shows you clips from Terminator 2.
Hey, remember that classic film?
Again. I'm going to piss all over it. Because people have called Cameron a hypocrite because he said that Alien 3 was terrible because it pissed on everyone by killing off Hicks and Newt in the first 5 minutes. And then he said, hang on, I've got an idea for the beginning of Terminator 6.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah, see, Mike remembers you in the good old days of low subs.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And well, hello there. Is here to take his punishment. Another fan of the franchise.
I genuinely don't see this film as punishment. I love it. I'm not. No shame whatsoever.
We'll see by the end of this if we've changed your mind.
No.
Oh, and I forgot to press play now. Right. So yeah, Josh is here. Welcome. The only acceptable way to watch this movie is squinting on a small screen on my phone. Yeah, good luck trying to see it on this thing.
Yeah. It's,
Quite bright film, this one.
I'm kind of wishing I'd set up my portable now on the side.
Good evening, Anthony. Thanks for sharing us out. Right, so there's Sarah Connor. You're going to have a bad day. And then we get skeletons on the beach, as these films always show. Now, we'll talk about this because you can explain to me. So this is supposed to be, what was it, 1998. Which
Oh,
is,
you're not going to start doing dates, are you?
Yeah. I got all the dates.
I can't do math. It's just, it's
All right,
not my.
It's because what is it? That's
The Judgment Day was in '97.
Judgment Day is 97. Terminator 2 takes place in 94, doesn't it? It's 10 years after the first film.
Yeah.
So then we get this Terminator's coming out of the sea for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then we actually get some future war scenes. But then
they're storming the beaches of.
Yes, and they've still got those things they had from Saving Private Ryan, those
Mm-hmm.
big things to stop boats coming up on the beach. Not much use against Terminators, by the way. Savoy says, I know that I say this a lot about films, but I've never had a problem with Dark Fate. Don't know what people were expecting.
Yes. Savoy 1984, you are. Yes.
So here is a DH Sarah Connor. Now, these do work because I think there's no one talks. They did say there was more lines for John, but as soon as he started talking, they thought, nope, doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the guy in the background, the big muscly guy comes in from the back. Not that you can see it. John stops, and then a de-aged Arnie. Now, this is a T-800 sent back at the same time as all the other ones throughout since part 2. So Arnie in the first one, T-80-1000 in the second one, and then they sent another Arnie back for this one.
Yeah, so back in the first film, presumably Skynet would have just send them through, and then just spit them out in like loads of different places in time.
Yeah.
And look, if John Connor's still kicking by that point, check him out. So,
which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know how, because you sent 3 Terminators back, 3 different timelines. So 84, 94, 98, just in case.
And we know there's more because we know that Sarah has been getting these messages to go and like take out others.
So she wasn't really prepared. She only had a 9mm, and then shooting that up. But now, if we pay close attention to that very small screen we're looking at, you'll see it freezes on the road instead of goes on fire. So that's supposed to be your first clue. It's different. But apparently, Sarah Connor's truck is on the bridge. But you don't see her. She crashes. That's why she's coming to these coordinates to kill whatever's coming out of that.
Okay.
It's not a bubble in this, is it?
Yeah.
But there it is. So her red truck narrowly avoids the lightning. But so explain, how many Terminators are they sending through? Like you said, they're just chucking one after the other, but then at the same time, the Resistance is sending a couple at a time as well to help.
Well, the Resistance only gets one through, which is Kyle Reese,
right?
And I'm sure there's a reference about how in the first film, doesn't he mention something about how the machine shot and they had one chance, they sent him through, he volunteered, so that was it. So like they never actually clarified this anyway. I don't know if it's any like comic book law or anything like that, but my assumption would be something along the lines of the machine that was used by Skynet to send the Terminators through, they probably attacked it after those Terminators went through, got hold of it, and thought, we've got just enough time to get someone's ass through this thing. And John Connor, obviously knowing his history, sent Kyle Reese through. And then boom, that was it. They didn't get a chance to send him more through. Now, obviously, these two that are being sent here were not sent by Skynet. They're sent by the next iteration.
What's it called?
Legion, yeah. So...
Yes, and this is Mackenzie What's-her-face.
Yeah, Mackenzie Davis.
That's it, yeah. And she was really nude here,
Yeah,
apparently, and she had a little problem with it. But
I think Mackenzie Davis in this film is fantastic. Right, the other girl, the one who plays the leader of the resistance, not so much.
that is everyone's main point. I think is
she's
the
too
leader of the
too
resistance,
small. She's too dainty. I don't see. I don't. When she tries to go all badass later in the future scenes, I'm not buying it. Sorry, Mackenzie Davis. I'm buying that she could kick my ass. the work she's done on her body for this film,
she did work out, bless her.
Yeah, and the fight scenes when she throws down in these fight scenes, I believe it. And that's another problem I have with a lot of Hollywood movies where they pit women against men in a brawl, and they expect us to believe that the woman's kicking the ass of all these guys around her. In this film, I believe it with Mackenzie Davis. Again,
she is enhanced, so she is a bit different.
Yeah, she is enhanced, but again, it's the physicality of it. So, for example, Terminator 3, which I hate with a burning passion. One of my least favorite movies of all time.
Oh,
I do. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Okay. What's her name? Loken? Christina?
Oh, yeah,
Christina Loken?
Yeah, Loken. Yeah.
The TX, right? Every time we see her going up against Arnie's T800 in Terminator 3, I just don't buy it. I don't feel it. What I feel when I watch those scenes is Arnie having to hold back, having to restrain himself, because if he really went at her, he'd hurt her. And it's just like, whereas I look at the sequences in this film with Mackenzie Davis going up against the Rev 9, and every time they're going at each other, I buy it. The physicality is there. So props to her on that is all I'll say. But yeah, Michael Myers, you are totally right. T3 is a colossal bag of
Marty didn't mind this. He liked Grace, but the movie lost me when she couldn't cut a fly in when she could cut a fly in half, and Danny became a badass because she fired a shotgun and made an eye-rolling speech. Yeah, apparently even the test audience said that Danny was their least favorite part of this, and they didn't believe she could do anything because apparently the actress is 31 in this, playing a 18-year-old.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, it's not because she's a woman.
No,
it's just it's miscasting.
It's miscasting, which
like I say,
Genesis, Salvation, and T3.
So, you look at Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2. She's scary. Like if she went at me like the Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, I'd be like, it's okay, I'm good. I'll do what you say. She genuinely looks like she would kick my ass. Me being just a pasty white, like average dude who doesn't work out or anything. Whereas I look at Emilia Clarke in Genesis, who's playing Sarah Connor, who's playing the same iteration of the character that Linda Hamilton plays. And I don't buy her for a second. The physicality is off. Yes, she looks pretty. Yes, she shares some of the physical traits, mannerisms of Linda Hamilton. But when it comes to that physicality, I'm just not buying it. And that's not sexist. It's just miscasting.
Yeah, because they even make a joke when she's in the police station at the measuring wall, and she's like 5'0", and then the two men are like 6 foot something, and you think, that's not even close to looking like Sarah Connor. She's not short.
Yeah. It's got nothing to do with sexism. It's totally down to casting. When I look at someone like Sigourney Weaver in Aliens, when I look at Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, when I look at Mackenzie Davis in this film, I believe it because it's cast right. So it doesn't matter that they're a woman. I buy it. But all the other casting choices they make, they go for the petite, pretty girl that they think they can stick on a poster, and all the guys are going to go, yeah. But no, all the guys want to see someone who actually can do the things you're asking us to buy that they can do. And she isn't it. This whoever this girl, look at her on the poster there. She looks like High School Musical.
Yes. Now, because I saw this in the cinema. I enjoyed it, but I think I enjoyed it for the action because it's got very good action.
Oh yeah.
But when I saw it the second time, I thought, every time they slow it down to talk about Danny and how wonderful she is. But yeah, what do you reckon of this Rev 9 actor? He's doing the.
I think he's great. I think he's really great.
I like him.
Very much like the T-1000, this is a role that is purely physical, and he doesn't have the height, like, you know, he's not imposing in that sense, but he is scary. Like I think the attitude that he has and the physicality, and he does some interesting stuff throughout the film that if you're not paying attention, you don't quite notice. But if you watch him, if you watch what he's doing, like the scene on the bridge, when Sarah first shows up, when we get to that scene and everything's kind of kicking off, he never takes his eyes off Danny.
Yeah, he does. He does go to the school of Robert Patrick Terminator. Don't blame him. There's a few problems with his technical issues, but yeah. So we've got the first 50 minutes of this film is in subtitles, which doesn't help its target audience, and south of the border for the first half of the film. But yeah, Danny's really tough. She's going to talk to the manager, putting her hair up there, and why has my brother been replaced by a robot?
There's another few things about this that are like that help it to avoid the typical woke gravy train that Hollywood's disappeared down, which is that they do actually give some of the periphery male characters some strong qualities and some sacrificial qualities. Like her brother is sacrificial. He tells Grace to take a sister and protect her, and he's the one who gets he's the one who drops the big ass thing down on the Rev 9.
The whatever weight engine or whatever it is.
So it's not just the sister who like goes into action and does everything. He actually steps up to the plate, sees something he can do, boom. And then you've got the guy in the shop later on who helps them rather than just like, it's. And whereas there's been a few films recently, and I can't think of the names off the top of my head, where I know that like you get through it and there wasn't a single. A film I actually like. I will confess, I do actually like, but the reason it wasn't a 5-star for me, it lost quite a few brownie points, was because there wasn't a single male character in it that did anything even approaching like wholesome or good, and that was Birds of Prey.
Oh, yes, all the men are bastards.
Yeah, it's literally all men are tossers and all women are kick-ass, badass mofos. But other than that, I did actually quite enjoy Birds of Prey a lot more than most. But whereas here, I do think they give quite a few like little moments just for peripheral male characters to show that this.
Sorry.
Yeah, just to show that it's not all men are crap and all the women are bosses. But
yeah, so we get to come with me if you want to live for 30 seconds or something. So yeah, this Terminator makes exactly the same mistake as the Terminator T3 when the TX is in the graveyard and she's coming towards who is it, John Connor, and then she changes. So it's about a mile away, so it's a Terminator. Same thing here. And somehow he manifests a gun in his hand that he doesn't do anywhere else in the film. His arm melts into a handgun, which I don't know if he was covering as a bag or if that's what he does. I think that's what they were trying to say. The bag was just fake out. And then
I think he was holding the gun, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then the bag melts around it, revealing it.
Yeah.
Alien 3 is great, despite what Jimmy thinks. Well, I'm so surprised I said to my guitar teacher, films that surprise me anymore, and the next day I saw this, and the intro floored me. Linda Hamilton is so bad in this. I think that means bad, not Michael Jackson bad, but...
yeah, the genuine term. Yeah, I think she's probably take some flack for this from some people. I think she's just old.
She is 61, I think, in this.
Yeah, she's getting on a bit. And when you look at people like Arnie who've remained in the business,
Yeah.
and have therefore kept up their physical kind of fitness levels. Whereas,
yeah, because she turned Terminator 3 down because there wasn't much of a part for her in it.
yeah,
And then James Cameron, who was married to her, was it in the early 90s, late 80s? And then he sent her a load of long emails on why she should and shouldn't do this film. And then instead of just getting a yes from her, it was waiting till her response was not an automatic no. Then she did it. Then she had to go into the training to be physically fit and a diet.
Yeah. But you can hear her age in her
Yes.
voice. It's so that she sounds like she's been smoking 40 a day, to be honest.
She is sounding like she's just been smoking after John died. But now, because somehow she gets these coordinators from Carl, and then she heads to where the Terminators appear, and then somehow destroys them on her own. So
Carl explains it in the later on. It's a very small line, but it's enough to let you know what's going on. They don't want to dwell on it. They don't want to get all bogged down in sci-fi tech speak, but they give you enough to go, oh, okay, right, I can buy that. Let's just go. And it's basically whenever someone goes through the time displacement field and is sent back through time, you essentially get a time ripple that does that. Basically, it's like a boing kind of thing. So, and the Terminators, because they're machines and because they're linked in, they have the correct programming. They know the frequencies and all that. He knows basically, based on that ripple that's gone through time, he knows where it's going to drop Terminators, and so he basically just sends the coordinates to Sarah Connor.
Wouldn't it have been more used to have him as a Terminator fight? The Terminator's coming in rather than a 60-year-old woman.
Well,
with only a few weapons.
Well, he explains that he wanted to give her purpose.
He wanted her dead.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't send her. No matter
the quickest way to get her killed is like, I think first few tries he was like, oh, she's not dying. She's better than I thought.
Yeah.
Now I've got to concoct some story about how I did it for her and not for me.
Apparently, there's a cutscene where Arnie explains that he made a mobile app that senses and so gives him the coordinates so he can pass them on. And he's impressed by his own design, apparently.
But like one of the big things about Terminator 2, and kind of one of the reasons for Cameron coming back and making it was one, the idea that you can flip the switch where the Terminator is the protector and not the seeker.
Yeah.
But also this idea that he is a learning machine. And while he will never be human in the sense of like having whatever we might call a soul, he can learn behavior. So I know a lot of people hate the whole Carl thing, but we're talking like 30-year. Like when you look at the growth of the T-800 in Terminator 2, who he is at the start to what he is at the end, the stuff that he's learned, the fact that he is able to assimilate one-liners, because John teaches him things, so appropriate responses, things like that, and then he starts implementing them over the course of the film. And the point is that he does become more human, or at least he exhibits more human traits over the course of the film, and it's because he's an infiltrator. He's designed to learn to be more human, to act more human. That's the whole purpose of a Terminator. You go in, you infiltrate, you become like them to the point where you can then carry out your mission. So if you take that to the next step and say, okay, we've not just had a T-800 hanging around with John Connor for a few days, but this thing's just been out there for 30 years, then to me it's not ridiculous to suggest that we get to the Carl situation. I just think it's not something people want to accept because they want to see a T-800 killing and blowing stuff up.
Because technically, he's a robot sent to the past to stop the future. But surely he's got one thing: is he hates humans. So why is he just once he's got his primary target, he could just start on everyone.
But he doesn't hate humans. Skynet
No.
hates humans.
Skynet, yes.
He's like
He's
you've always got to bear in mind T-800s are not Skynet. They're an instrument of Skynet. And it's like Skynet has will. It has the ability to make its own choices. It's not going to put that will in a T-800. It's not going to put that ability to have a self-identification kind of thing into a T-800, because that T-800 might turn around and go, actually, I'm not on board with this whole killing of humans lark, and I am going to fight against you. So you can't ever think that the T-800s are Skynet, because they're not. So all it's programmed to do is carry out the mission, and that mission is kill John Connor. It killed John Connor, and now it's stuck in a world where it's got no mission, and it is a learning machine. It's an infiltrator. The only other thing it knows how to do other than kill John Connor is to fit in with humanity, is to blend in. So that's what he's been doing for the past 30 years, because it's the only other thing he knows how to do without orders. So it just, to me, Carl makes sense when you look at that 30-year time period.
Yeah. So hang on, I've just lost my place in the chat. So yes, Terminator was such a stroke of genius. It played the perfect character, and then followed that with a character that was inverted perfectly. My heart bleeds to consider what putrid muck followed afterwards. Oh dear. But yes, because everyone loves 1 and 2, don't they? There's not much you can do to spoil those films.
They're faultless. For me, they're perfect movies.
Not going woke and killing off John Connor would have been a long way to improve this one. Sexist,
I don't think it would.
Bigot.
What would you do? What would you do? You keep John Connor alive. What do you do with that? Then we go through the same old crap again. It's about it stays fit. And I know people are going to say, oh, well, so all you've done is replace John Connor with a girl. So you're going through the same crap again, but with someone else. But the point is, you're flipping it back to Sarah Connor. You're making a statement that the whole reason the resistance exists in any timeline is because of Sarah Connor, because of who she is and what she passes on to the person who goes on to become the leader of the resistance. Whereas if John Connor had been alive and stayed alive in this film, then we're just going through the same old stuff. We've got nothing new to say. It's just, how do we keep John Connor alive? Because he's going to be the resistance.
But yeah, there would always be someone in the resistance. But yeah, so here we go. Sarah Connor turns up at 24 minutes in. Now, people have said that when she stepped out of the car, they were expecting it to be Arnie. When they see those legs, but then it's a badass Sarah Connor with a massive shotgun.
Yeah.
So
I think what's his face? He plays the Rev 9 throughout all of this stuff. He does some really good physical work, I think.
Yeah, he does get a few chances that he could kill Danny later on, but but he's she's got grenades. I'll be back. There we go. She said the line.
And that's another difference between Legion and Skynet is the difference between the T-800 and the Rev 9 in what we were just talking about, which is that I think the Rev 9 has a bit more autonomy, because there's a conversation that comes later on when he's talking directly to the T-800, saying like, why don't you just hand her over? Why are you protecting her, kind of thing? And it suggests that he's got a bit more in it than just orders, so to speak. But
yeah, the Mackenzie, what is she called? Grace
Davis.
Yes, the character's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I got two names in my head. Yeah, the only thing is that when she comes down and needs medical help, before she fight again.
Yeah.
So that slows the film down because I guess, it's the public's fault this because after Genesis failed, the studio went back. Okay, you didn't like that. What would you like to see? And everyone said, we all love Terminator 2. So I thought, right, let's copy Terminator 2.
Which is exactly what Terminator 3
movie
did.
with outdoing everything.
Yeah.
As bigger and better than Terminator 2, which is what Terminator 3 tried.
Which you just can't do. You can't outdo a perfect movie. It's like the thing with Terminator 1 and 2 is that they were completely different movies. The first one's a horror film. It's almost essentially a stalk and slash kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with guns. And the second one is just an all-out action epic. Again, it's like Alien and Aliens. They're chalk and cheese. They're two different movies, but perfectly coexist in the same universe.
Yeah.
After that, it's like, look, you either change up the genre again, and which I think would be a good idea. Let's send the Terminator back to the Old West. Let's do a Western.
Exactly. Yes. There's plenty of ancestors.
Mm.
But then again, it's like the Predator. Yeah. They don't have the weapons back then, and then they have to use their clever clogs.
Yeah.
But yes, I forgot to mention, this was filmed in Spain because as pro-Latino and South American as it is, they couldn't film there because it was so dangerous. It was so corrupt and dangerous, they couldn't film in Mexico. They had to film most of it in Spain and Texas.
Well, it's like all those people who say, like, bring them over, but just don't put them in my house. You seen those videos on YouTube where someone brings them, they go and interview someone on their lawn and stuff, and they're like, yes, I think we should bring them over. Absolutely. And so goes, bring the bus, and the bus just
got
packs
spare
up.
room in there. Get 12 in there. But yeah, this came out October 23rd, 2019 in most of the world, the UK, and then didn't come out in America until where is it? Past Turkey, November 1st. So only a week later, but a lot of other countries got it first. And it barely scraped by in America.
Yeah.
I think it was the lowest money for a Terminator film since the second one.
It crushed me. Genuinely crushed me. When it didn't do well, this film, I was like, I realized the franchise was dead. And the thing is, I thought Terminator 3 was going to kill it, and that film did really well.
Yes.
And I was like, what the hell? I got pulled
Genesis
over by
did
the
the best
police
out of
because
all
of
of
that film. Hey?
I think Genesis did the best money-wise out of all of them.
Really?
Not enough because the budgets are so high.
Right,
And the
yeah.
marketing. Yeah, this one had a $185 million budget, and it made $62 million in America.
Right.
And 260 globally.
I got pulled over by the police because of Terminator 3. So it's I went to see it opening night with my brother, and I was in such I just went on such a tirade about it to my brother whilst I was driving that I wasn't really paying attention. I was swerving all over the place.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So got pulled over by the police, and thankfully the guy who pulled me over, the police officer who pulled me over, was a big Terminator fan. I told him I said we'd just been to see Terminator 3, and it was just like god awful. And
I didn't like the trailer when I saw it. I thought, I'm suspicious of this.
Yeah. Just those Elton John glasses, and then I was out. No.
Yes, it dropped the ball several times.
Actually, literally,
it drops the ball and then kicks it in the neighbor's garden into the
It's the only good thing about that movie, aside from the truck chase, which I find quite entertaining, is the ending. The way.
Yeah, that's the one thing people bring out of it, isn't it? The downer ending.
Yeah, that's it. They're my 2 pointers. The scene when Arnie is smashing the front of the car to fight his programming.
Yes, that makes no sense.
Embarrassing to watch.
He's either going to do it or he's not going to do it. He's not going to fight.
It's like, you know when you feel embarrassed for someone. It's just, I'm like, oh man, was that the best take they had? I was like, poor Arnie.
So yes, what about the TV shows? You had the anime last year, which I haven't seen,
Mm,
and then the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which the first season's good,
yeah.
and then it veers off into
I've-
too high, and then they couldn't finish the job.
Yeah, I've got Sarah Connor Chronicles, and I got halfway through season 2, and then for whatever reason I got distracted and ended up getting into another show, and I've never gone back. And I think part of it is because I know it didn't end.
Yeah, it ends on
properly.
a cliffhanger.
Yeah, which always
You'll never find out what's happening.
so I have a resistance when I know that a show doesn't end
Yeah.
properly. I'm like, I kind of don't want to get to the end now because at least I can pretend that there's some ending out there somewhere.
Yeah, because with
Yeah.
Salvation, Genesis, and this, they all went in saying this is the first start of a new trilogy, and then that's all they wrote.
Yeah, they need to stop with that. They
Yes.
need to stop putting all their eggs in one basket and saying, yeah, we've got the future mapped out, guys. We've got the future mapped out. No, you no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. So just concentrate on today, guys. What's this? So what does Brian think of Sarah Connor Chronicles? Yeah,
yes.
Of what I've seen of Sarah Connor Chronicles, I really liked it. And that's partly why I can't quite bring myself to finish it because I just
Summer Glau makes a good Terminator because she's pretty and badass. So, but she's a Terminator. So, Mac Chats. Yes, Carl the Drape Seller. Now, apparently, that might be mostly Arnie's fault because he is into interior decorating now. So, the first part of his speech about drapes is in the script, and then he ad-libbed a load of other stuff like, no, not. She should have something like polka dots or something like that in a child's room. That's him.
Yeah, don't let Arnie ad-lib. Don't ever let Arnie ad-lib.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Yes, so the original TX, Arnold wanted a WWE woman, one of the big muscly women, to play a TX.
Would have been better.
Would have been better, but as
like Gina Carano, I would buy.
Yeah, I think Arnie be in trouble then. But yeah, I think Cynthia, she's quite short, but then I don't know what she was. She might have been up to it. Well, no, it was 2003, wasn't it? So they probably thought she was too old. The villain does nothing for me. Doesn't have a bit of Patrick's presence.
I think you're wrong.
He does have a lot of Patrick's. He might not have he does have the steely-eyed, could do anything bit.
I don't think it's as good as Patrick. I think Patrick's he's the one who set the bar, and now it's like, okay, anyone else that comes, you gotta live up to that. But I think he does a hell of a lot better of a job than the likes of Kristanna Loken's TX or what's his face doing the John Connor Terminator thing, or even that other guy who did the T1000, redid the T1000.
Oh, the Asian guy, yeah. He had the moves. Just there's always just Robert Patrick's always got something, a bit more charisma, I think. They can bring through. Hey man, what do I look like to you? A sitting duck. But that's a separate film. Anyway. Yes, Jason, he enjoyed this one. See, we found some others that enjoy it. Yeah.
Me and Jason tend
taken out in this future scene like a bitch.
Oh yeah,
and then she gets injured. But yeah, these are Rev 7s apparently that have all the tentacles because they're not infiltrators.
Yeah.
So they just stab the shit out of you. Now this, what is this? This is a 15 in the UK, and it's the first R-rated one. Is it since the first one?
All right. I think that's mostly for language.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. There's one gory scene, but because it's so dark, you don't see it when he's the Rev 9 is making his way through the immigration center, slicing and dicing, and you see his blades coming out of his back and stabbing.
Which is pretty cool. I like that. It's just
you don't see it.
Yeah, just the way
So,
it's shot, and his focus, his sole focus is on Danny, and these guys are just obstacles, and he's just like, yeah, great stuff.
Ramon says Audrey Plaza instead of Emilia Clarke might have worked.
I think a different film might have worked.
I think she can do serious. It's just
Mm.
you expect her to be snarky, but because I'm trying to think of anyone that could play the tough, because she's supposed to be T2 Sarah Connor in the T1 film at the beginning, isn't she? So
yeah, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think Mackenzie Davis in this does a pretty damn good job emulating what Linda Hamilton did.
See, so he's saying hello. Runaway, is that the Tom Selleck film from Michael Crichton from '84? I think it is, set in the future. I love that film.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's a futuristic sci-fi thriller with Gene Simmons from Kiss as the bad guy. Right. And then they got robot spiders and stuff that inject people with acid to kill them, and they got these chips that turn robots against people. But yeah, it's a fun one, that one.
I've done that one down, so that sounds up my street.
It probably would be. It's very little known, even though it's written by Michael Crichton and has Tom Selleck in it. Who's it? Chris Christiali, I think, is in it as one. But anyway, yes, the Midnight Woodwoman doesn't mind Linda, but she does overdo the tough girl. I've done the shit before shtick. But yeah.
There is a few lines she delivers in this that do genuinely make me laugh. Like the way they're meant to, like the one you used in your intro when she's like, "I'm never gonna call you Carl." I actually liked when she delivered that. I was just like,
yeah, because I guess she's in it all the way, isn't she? I'm just trying to think, because that's why Arnie's second billing, because he doesn't turn up till an hour and 7 minutes in. If this film didn't have the Linda, the whole John Connor stuff, or the Arnie stuff, a film maybe about one of Connor's lieutenants, maybe that could work. Yeah, because they killed off his lieutenants in Terminator 3 quite easily because they were kids.
Yeah.
But because do you think should they do the $200 million film didn't work, let's do a $250 million film, or do you think the $50 million film would make more sense?
Yeah. I just think we need to go back to the roots. So I either do the more horror type kind of low key kind of film, or do that story that I talked about with the Terminators all getting sent through, and so just do a film that's built around that mission of John getting into Skynet to send Kyle Reese back.
Because they sort of tried it at the beginning in Genesis for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But other people have said send someone to the future to take out the Terminators before they. But yeah, I don't know how that would work.
No. So Genesis, I can kind of watch. If I tell myself that it's glorified fan fiction, I enjoy it.
Fan fiction, yes.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Like, it's never slow. You know, there's always stuff happening, and even the stuff that doesn't work is entertaining because it's kind of so bad it's funny. Whereas T3 for me is just plain bad. Salvation I actually quite like a lot. I just think, one, they gave the whole film away in the trailer. So there's just no surprises going into that film. We should not have known that Sam Worthington was a Terminator. We shouldn't.
No,
that is something
that would have been a surprise. Yes.
because
Same with-
when you have the scene at the start of the film when Helena Bonham Carter's character goes to see him, then it sets you up for the possibility that he's someone they're going to put in there to try and take out Skynet. Like they know what's going to happen. So, but because they give it away in the trailer, when you watch that scene at the beginning of the film, you know that so she's going to induct him into something that's going to turn him into a machine.
Yeah,
and it's like, that trailer just destroyed the film as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Genesis did the same with revealing John Connor's a Terminator now.
But yeah,
They never learn.
they don't. They just repeat the same mistakes again and again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they think they don't want the kids to go in that have no interest in the film to be surprised. They just want to see the whole film. That's why I haven't watched a trailer for years now. That's just given up. I watched the Marvel ones because they're always faked out anyway. Evening, Sally. Yes, big mistake killing John Connor off. It massively hurt this movie. Yeah, everyone loves John Connor. But yeah, like you said, this is a new timeline now, so there's a new
but again, it's interpretation, isn't it? She says this franchise is meant to focus on this character, but the fact of the matter is it isn't, because it started with Sarah Connor. John Connor wasn't in the original movie. It started with her. So and she played just as much of a part in the second film as he did as well. So for me, it became about John Connor when it was really always about Sarah.
Yeah, what about that? What if Arnie was bad in this one? After he kills John, he just, like he says, assumes the other life and is infiltrating, waiting for Sarah. And then she's got the Rev 9 and the bloody T-900 from two different timelines. Or two different Skynet things. AI things.
Yeah, what if you do, because multiverses these days are all the rage.
Oh yes.
What if, right? When you get that time displacement thing going, what if the T-800 recognizes that the signature of the Rev 9 isn't Skynet, but it's something else entirely, and then has to essentially allow Skynet to go to war with Legion across two different kind of time.
Now that one does sound expensive.
Yeah.
And where's she got coordinates tattooed on her side down there? So how can you read? I can't read that. Maybe it's because I'm too fat, but I can't look down to read something that's tattooed on my side. Just put on a hand or something if you're gonna. But yeah, apparently, we'll get to Arnie. But yeah, he does lose an arm and an eye in this one, the same way he does in all the films. Yeah, Arnie his career is beyond needing to be the good guy. But yeah, he is old, that was Cameron's idea for Genesis, saying, well, T-800s age because they have real flesh. So they use that in here. Yes, Alien 3 killed off. I don't think so. But it's like they say, what is it, Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi are going to be reevaluated. And they keep getting same evaluated.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, Alien 3, in all fairness, only got reevaluated because the assembly cut got released.
The assembly cut, yes.
So yeah.
But so yeah, we're getting female bonding road trip.
I think that the best way to go on this would be to lose Danny and actually make Sarah Connor the leader of the Resistance.
Yeah, she could do it. Because yeah, she's the one that's had exactly the same training as John Connor. So just if she can survive to whatever Judgment Day. Should Cameron have directed this one, though? Because Tim Miller came from, Deadpool, which is hardly the same type of film as a Terminator film.
Yeah.
Just got some action in it.
I mean, I think the only way anybody's going to turn up to a Terminator film now is if Cameron writes and directs.
They would be curious to that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, he ain't going to do that unless he really has a genuine idea for where he wants to go.
Because what's he done? A short, Deadpool as director, and then straight from Deadpool 2016 into this in 2019, and then he's only directed 3 episodes of a TV show since, and he's doing Alien Legion, which is nothing to do with Aliens franchise. Luckily,
in all fairness to him, he proved himself with Deadpool because the budget for that film was pretty meager.
Yes,
given what they pull off. And again, as a defender of Terminator Dark Fate, so far I think he's 2 for 2. But
yes. Now, have you played Terminator Resistance, which was the Terminator 3 video game?
No, I've not a game.
Which takes place. I only tried it. Was it last week? It takes place after John Connor's killed in the future. His wife has reprogrammed the Arnie one, and then the Arnie one has to fight in the future to get to the time displacement portal,
right,
to get back. I was going to say VD. Grace reminds me of the VD in Van Damme in Universal Soldier, always needing to cool down or have an injection. Oh, see, Backtrack Cinema says Salvation is underrated.
I think Salvation's underrated, to be honest.
I do find it the most dullest one.
Really?
Yeah, out of the 4 post two sequels.
I said
the slowest film, maybe. The other 3 are just chase films.
Yeah, like I kind of understand that, but I like the fact that we go to the future war. I like that we're in there, and I really wish we'd have got a continuation of Salvation, to be honest.
Well, yes, it would have been interesting to see what because the original story had Sam Worthington's Terminator having John Connor's face and being, but then that got spoiled in a script leak, so they changed it to just his heart, which made no sense, as his heart was damaged by the T-800. Anyway, see, Larry likes Salvation. Just like Howling 1 and 2, they're the perfect films, and then there's 8 sequels after them. So here we go. Here comes Tough Danny.
Yeah, see, this is the.
She's got the corn braids or whatever it is, and
this is my least favorite scene of the film.
Yes, yeah. Now the trouble is the ending. Well, I remember is Danny and Sarah going off to fight the future, but they're going to fight because they're going to see young Grace.
Yeah.
While she's alive and happy before Judgment Day, but then they're going to go and stop Judgment Day. But then, is that possible if Grace has already been sent back and dies to save Danny?
Well, it was possible in the second film, and the first film. It's like if Carl Reese went and saved Sarah, and then she blew up Skynet. And then so Skynet didn't happen. So technically, she should be wiped out because it meant they never sent Carl Reese back. So
yeah, give you a headache, wouldn't it?
It does give you a headache.
Work out at the time if it's
working. Well, I always think that the timeline we drop into in the first Terminator film isn't necessarily the original timeline. Because we don't know how many events have taken place previously and how many times somebody's gone back in time to shape the particular timeline that we drop into. For me, that's just the final one that we drop into. It's the one that survived.
Yeah. So a lot of traveling. And on about wombs. But yeah, I can't believe this is 6 years old already. Well, it's 5.5 years at least. There's very big gaps between franchises now.
It's really staggering because it just makes you feel old. Like, this only came out 2 years ago to me. In my head,
To me,
this
yes.
is
I
like,
think, oh yeah, 2 years ago, not 6.
like,
Now the teaser trailer
6
was
years old. 2019 it came out.
Well,
What
yeah,
the hell?
last year was what, the 40th anniversary of the first film. I remember the trailers in the cinema for that one.
Oh,
Yes, Lena
Yeah.
Headey, Sarah Connor was pretty good.
yeah, she was good.
Better than, yeah, the other Game of Dragons one. Game of Thrones. Hopefully, this is the last movie. The original cast are too old now, yeah. So Arnie's definitely out of the next one. He was 71 when I think they made this, so he's 76, 77 this year.
Yeah. I think perhaps the only way to go about it is to revamp. I think you need to stay away from it for 10 years and then start with
a remake of the first film. But
yeah, I'm always reluctant to use the word remake because it's like, but if you can get someone who just does it properly, nails it, and then it can lead us off into a different direction to where the originals went.
What about Carry On Columbus is better than Don't Hit the 3? I wouldn't say that.
I've not seen Carry On Columbus, but I have no doubt that you are correct.
I've only seen it once last year, and it was rough.
I can only assume you are
but it
on
was
the
short.
money.
Good evening, Rob. Arnie's cleavage was better, yeah. I can't remember. No, he doesn't go topless in this one, does he?
Where are we up to? Let's see.
We also have another midget female character in Danny Remar. So it looks like she can barely hold a big gun and might drop it. That has been mentioned that, yeah, she gets a big shotgun later.
Yeah. It's just...
So,
this girl here, whoever that is.
I was just looking at her saying
she would be better. She would be better. It's like but this is the thing that gets me about casting. When you've got someone in the film playing a bit part who already looks better than the person you cast in the main role.
She was being very nice and pleasant, so she could, and then she started stabbing fuckers. So yeah, she could do both parts. Tough.
And look, I'm not getting at I can't remember the name of the actress who plays Danny.
Yeah,
it's not her fault. You know, if someone offers you a role in a Terminator film, you're going to go for it. And I'm not saying she's a bad actress. It's like she turns up to do the job she's been cast for. So it's down on the people who cast her. They cast the wrong person.
Yeah. I was just gonna. So this has, what's this got? A score on IMDb while I'm here of 6.2. Genesis has 6.3. Salvation has 6.5. And T3 has 6.3. The first Terminator is 8.1. And the second Terminator is 8.6.
Yeah. That's all right.
But yeah, it's not the actress's fault. So same with Worthington. It's not his fault. He was just popular person at the time.
Yeah,
they've put in everything, and people are sick of him. And he was miscast.
I'm saying I'm a bit of a closet fan of Worthington.
Well, you're right. No, what am I? Not Worthington. Yeah, well, Worthington was all right in that. It was sorry.
Courtney, Jai Courtney. Yes,
Jai Courtney. Yes, that's right.
I'll take Worthington over Courtney any day.
Yes. But yeah, so just like what's her face is Natalia Reyes.
Yeah,
but she's still working, bless her. So she's doing all right. She hasn't. I was just checking that she hadn't gone into hiding because if everyone's slating you,
yeah, that'd be a shame. I mean, like I always feel sorry for the girl who played Rose in The Last Jedi because
she didn't deserve any hate.
It's not her fault. She's an actress. Somebody offers you a role in a Star Wars movie, you take it. It's that simple. Like the hate should not be directed at her. It should be directed at the people who made the choices, the creative choices to put the film together. But
Oh, sorry. That's it. Redemption. Sorry, not Resistance. I've been looking at so many bloody things these days. Yes, thank you, March. Yes, Terminator 3 Redemption is what I played on
all right.
the GameCube. It's not Resistance, which is
Okay.
completely different. Because I'm way out, smacked out of my tits. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Salvation is slow as fuck. It sucks behinds. Now we never get a real sense of the augmented powers that Grace has got.
Well,
She
she's
seems to
just
be $6 million man. Like she can see a distance, and then she can hear a distance, and she's
just finely tuned. It. She's basically like a T-800, but she's still got her soul. And
I think that's it. I read some of that. They've replaced her bones and then put metal sheeting under her skin to make her tougher.
She just comes down every time she goes too many rounds. So.
Yeah. And then we got a drone attack that almost gets her. Oh, see, Salvation is his favorite post T2 films, but it has its own issues.
Yeah, it's for me. It's between this and Salvation. It's like
yes, it does contradict a lot of lore because it doesn't. Well, people have said, me included, said it doesn't look like the future scenes from the first two films. It's not.
Yeah,
Terminators, and it's not. Dark,
they're not quite
not
there yet, though, are they?
That's what it's supposed to be, isn't it? Yeah, they're not that far ahead because Kyle's a young lad in it.
Yeah,
and John Connor's not a leader. But then they did do all that in Genesis. The laser beams and the Terminators everywhere.
Yeah. It's also not shot in metallic blue the way Cameron likes to shoot it. It's all like murky kind of brown colours. So that affects the mood of it. My favourite film from 1980 is The Shining.
Can't go wrong with
that.
Yeah. There's a big joke here where she says, "I didn't give you permission to look at my lady parts," or whatever she says. Oh, for fuck's sake. You had a massive piece of metal sticking out of you. They had to touch you while you were unconscious. Can't wait for you to come around and say, "Can we touch you?" Well, I don't know if it's supposed to be a joke or if it's supposed to be serious.
I saw a YouTube short today of someone getting arrested in Britain for sending a meme that made someone feel anxious.
Fucking hell.
The cop literally, like the guy's going off on the cop. There's 3 cops around this guy. Like, you know, heaven forbid they should be off solving real crimes.
Yeah.
They're arresting this guy. This guy's like proper like lambasting him for it. And the copper just loses his cool and is like, "You sent a meme to someone and it made them feel anxious." And like, you're like, how are you saying that with a straight face, dude?
Well, yeah, if you've got 3 cops around you and one of them shouting at you, I'd feel anxious. I don't know if that counts. I'm expecting a knock on the door, some of the things I've said.
Oh, man. What a joke. Welcome to Britain, everybody. The home of common sense.
Yes. Luckily, I hide all my contraband of carry-on films in the loft, so we can't get at them. Oh, I said too much. Oh, see. Remember Salvation being very meh and monochrome. Yes. Now, Sarah Connor has been arrested and she's wanted in 50 states for doesn't say what.
Well,
what do you think
for blowing up Cyberdyne.
Terminators.
No, Cyberdyne.
Well, I guess
like, yeah. So in this world, Cyberdyne was blown up, hence no Skynet. So as far as the world's concerned, she was just a whack job who blew up Cyberdyne systems.
But then why
with some dude,
a general later on that gives her an EMP with no questions asked?
do you know? Do you know what I wish they'd done with that general guy? I wish his name tag was Dyson, because it should be that kid. It should be the son of Miles Dyson, and that's why he's so willing to go along with her, and because he'd be the only one who's seen this stuff. He saw the but it would have been a nice tie to the second film, and it would have made sense that but we don't get any information on this guy.
No,
he's just
all
a
right,
general.
Here's a EMP.
But if you just give him the Dyson name tag, then right there it's like, oh, is that Miles'
the kid knows
son?
everything.
It's like, that'd be great.
So you go, sold. Yes, so the main memory of seeing this is in the cinema. Was me stupid enough to pay £8 for a hot dog. Yeah, hot dog prices are ridiculously bad. And that was 6 years ago. They're probably more expensive now. And then John says, "This is awful." Oh, thumbs down. £1 a bite. I hope you enjoyed it.
£1 a bite. When you put it into perspective like that, it's just you realise how much you're being fleeced.
He's like, yeah, we've got these bags of popcorn, plastic bags, bin bags, don't they? Have popcorn, but that whole bag is worth about 200 quid to them. It cost them 50p to make.
Oh man, shocking.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to imagine an unknown actress ringing the studio back and saying, "Read the script, not sure I'm right for it." Yes, and have never heard anyone say anything remotely positive about Courtney. It's because
I'll say something. I'll say something remotely positive about Jai Courtney. He was the best thing in Suicide Squad.
That's the only time people are mentioning him. I liked him in Reacher, where he was just a henchman, but yeah. And they brought him back for the Suicide Squad because he was so popular.
Yeah. I was actually really disappointed when they killed him at the beginning of the Suicide Squad, because literally Captain Boomerang is the best thing he's ever done, and he was the most entertaining thing about that film. So when they brought him back, I was like, yes, they brought one of the only redeeming features of that film back, and then they just blitzed him in the first 5 minutes.
No, we don't, because offending people is illegal, because you will go to many people have gone to prison on a tweet.
Yeah. The offending of a particular type of person is more the point. Yeah. If you want to mock Christians and things like that, just have at it. They're fair game.
They won't blow you up.
Oh.
They'll have a tea fete to raise money to help you.
So, great stuff.
That's got free speech. Sort of, We're not here to rank 80s films. We're concentrating on modern films because they're so good.
Just like a random 5 80s movie. Just pick them and.
Well, yes, you could pick 5 from any month of the 90s and I'd find good ones.
I don't know. Throw 5 at me and I'll rank them for you.
Well, I'll give you. Let's see, where did this come in the charts of the year? Because it didn't do well, did it?
No, I did not.
A bit of Bruce didn't do well. Right. So Endgame was the film of the year. We had so from number 1 upwards: Avengers Endgame, Lion King, Frozen 2, Spider-Man Far From Home, Captain Marvel, Joker, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Toy Story 4, Aladdin, and Jumanji: The Next Level were the top 10.
Well, Joker was my favorite of that year.
It's not the best lot, is it? And then we go down. Alita: Battle Angel at 21.
Oh, that was so good.
John Wick 3.
I want my Alita sequel.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I don't like the look of her with her big eyes, but then I watched it. It was a very good film. But yes, this came 30 after Knives Out, and a film called Crazy Alien, which I've never even heard of. Crazy
Alien. In no universe should a Terminator film come just above a film called Crazy Alien.
Right, so of course she knows how to fly helicopters because they have them all over the future. Or is she just programmed like Matrix? All right, I'll give you some options from. I'll go back to 1991. So when Terminator 2 comes out, you can't choose Terminator 2 though.
Okay.
Beauty and the
Terminator
Beast
2 is the best film of that year.
Well,
so.
it didn't win because Beauty and the Beast made a lot more money.
Yeah.
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Silence of the Lambs, City Slickers, Hook, Adam's Family, Sleeping with the Enemy, Father of the Bride, Naked Gun 2.5, Fried Green Tomatoes, Cape Fear, Turtles 2, Backdraft, Star Trek 6, Prince of Tides, JFK, Hot Shots, What About Bob, and 100 Dalmatians re-release. That's the top 20.
I'm supposed to remember all that.
Yeah. You can have Last Boy Scout.
Oh, right. So, well, Silence of the Lambs and Last Boy Scout are going
There
up
you go.
there. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I could just pull up my letterbox.
Right, Arnie's turned up. Pay attention.
Pay attention, guys. Pay attention.
Sarah Connor. I just realised, why are my subtitles not working? But yes, I think we were joking about it last time whether Arnie got to put on the Austrian accent because he's been in America for 60 years.
Yeah. He seems incapable of losing.
Oh yes,
that accent.
I forgot about it. Jay Courtney was the best thing in Die Hard 5.
Was he though? Was
I think
he?
he might have been. Well, apart from
No.
was it deleted scenes with Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
I think Mary Elizabeth. Yeah,
She was
Elizabeth
only in the
Winstead,
extended version. Though.
Yeah, I think the totally implausible and totally kind of messes up the character of John McClane because he becomes so reckless. He's basically killing innocent people.
100 people in the Russian roads.
Yeah, but that sequence on the roads is entertaining, if totally stupid. And I would say that's probably the best thing about Die Hard 5. After that, it's just like there's no redeeming features at all.
It doesn't exist.
No.
I tried watching this film 3 times. Every time it sucks. The lack of real change of the story and an updated premise. Where are the positive reviews? Am I skipping over those? Because I don't think so.
So, top 5 films of 91, not counting Terminator 2.
Right.
Yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yes.
Thelma and Louise. Point Break. Frankie and Johnny.
Oh, I do like that one.
And The Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no turtles then.
No turtles, no.
But yeah, there's 200 films out that year in the cinema. So it's quite easy to. So it's even Beastmaster 2 came out that year. Right. Oh, Beauty and the Beast is greater than Terminator 2 from Rob.
Lay off the drugs, people. Lay off the drugs.
Yeah. He's never spoken an American accent ever. Not on camera. But the people that say he's lost his accent when I guess James Cameron would know. Oh yes. De Palma Obsession and Wise Guys. I don't like Wise Guys either. I've seen it a couple of times, but
yeah, it's just I don't hate it. It's just average. That is the one with Kirk Douglas.
That's Tough Guys.
Oh right, which one's Wise Guys?
I always confuse it. It's Wise Guys. It's a comedy gangster. Mr. Joe Piscopo, I think. Someone told me right.
All right, I've not seen that one.
No, I don't think I've seen Obsession. I haven't seen either of them for a very long time.
No.
Oh yes, Double Impact. Of course, that came out in 91.
I mean, Cape Fear came out in 91.
Oh yeah. See, hell of
Class Action, Body Parts, Fisher King, Rocketeer, New Jack City, Ricochet, the classic Wedlock, and
oh yes, Harris Wedlock,
Leonardo DiCaprio's debut, Critters 3.
Straight to video, yes.
Unfortunately, classic film.
But yeah, so Sarah now shoots Arnie just for fun.
Yeah.
I can't get my subtitles back on now. Stupid streaming. I got the Blu-ray here, but I can't pop it in the tablet. What they need is some sort of device, like a tablet with a screen that has a Blu-ray player on the side, and then it's also about 42 inches wide.
Do you never get any copyright strikes for that little?
Yes,
you do.
Well, no, last night because I did. This is actually a video of my setup upstairs,
Right.
so it's not live, so
Right.
it's a video. But yesterday, because I didn't have time to do it. I just ripped the VHS, so I had a small screen of the film. Was Alligator, and then we're watching it perfectly fine for the first half hour. But then I got cocky and made it this big. But it was, of course, it's not HD, but it's legible.
Right.
And then I got suspended for 5 minutes. The stream was suspended for 5 minutes. But yeah, when I used the VHS, because even though that is actually a Blu-ray playing on that TV at the moment. So
it cracks me up. It's like if I was if I was a film studio, I would recognize that we live in a completely different world for a start, and that actually it's people on YouTube, people like us, that often keep movies alive. You think about older movies, it's us talking about them that keeps them alive, that keeps people going back to them. And people who've never heard of Alligator would like, what's this? Okay, I'll go and check that out. And it's like, it just seems ridiculous to
because a few people streamed it when they heard I was doing it, so they got 2 rentals or whatever, or views on Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah.
For a film that came out a long time ago.
Yeah.
So there's a bit here. Yeah. So the Terminator is fussing a dog which are famously anti-Terminators or racist. I don't know what is the anti-technology for a dog.
Well, they just recognize the fact that they're not human, don't they? So, which implies that this T-800 has infiltrated to such a degree that he's learned, 30 years of hanging around with humans. He's become as human as any T-800 is going to.
It's like she says he was weighs 800 pounds or whatever it is.
That'd be a funny scene, wouldn't
it? Yeah, just get into bed.
Yeah.
They're not physical. Right, then we get the famous teach her to shoot in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She gives her the biggest machine shotgun, which still does fuck all against a Rev 9. Because I think, we're winning, we shot it. But yeah, then it just heals.
It buys you a couple of seconds.
Yeah. Which you need a hell of a head start, because those things are fast.
I do like the way the Rev 9 takes the hits.
Yeah.
When he gets hit by a bullet, and he's still running, which is good. There's like there's scenes in this when he's running full throttle and he's doing the while still putting all his effort into running. It's
yeah, good. It is. Yeah, but like they shoot him in the face 100 times later on, and he just heals like straight after you. What's the point? Because in Genesis, they only had. She has the sniper rifle with the depleted uranium shells or whatever that she shoots the original Arnie with. And then they never use that gun ever again. Oh, hang on. What's this? I thought to say I spent the day hanging out with the actor that plays Mateo in this scene, Carl's adopted son. Nice guy. Oh, that's nice. Because they're so they're saying goodbye. Hang on, I can't see, where am I? I'm trying to get my subtitles back. But yeah, there was a deleted scene where the woman Arnie was with speaks to Sarah Connor, and she knows that he's not human.
Yeah, seen it. I'm glad they left it out.
There's a lot more they could have left out, I guess.
Yeah. I just think the scene plays so much better the way it is here. Like you get a sense of a history there. You get a sense of relationship with there without the need for spelling it out with words. And if you look at that deleted scene, she's telling you how to feel. She's telling you how she feels. She's telling you about the history. It was such an obvious scene to cut. And
I'm glad, and they can just do it with a look where he's looking sad. Then back to work.
Yeah.
And then it's like that new thing where Netflix scripts, they say have to have people telling you what's happening because people are just watching their phones and not the film. And you think, I am now going to the doctors. Hi, honey, I'm back from the doctors.
Yeah, you know why they're not watching the films? Because they're crap. Make better films.
Yes.
You make films that engage people. They won't be looking down at the phones every 5 minutes.
It's witchcraft. Burn him. He's a witch. But who does the music for this one? It is someone. Because Brad Fiedel didn't even get asked to do the music for this one. He has
oh no, it's Thingy. It's Junkie XL who does this one.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's Tom Holkenborg.
Tom Holkenborg, yeah, who I really like.
He has done some good stuff. Max Fury Road, he did Deadpool, of course. Batman versus Superman.
Batman vs Superman,
Justice League. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Furiosa. But I couldn't ham it. But until it goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I do like his reworking of the Terminator theme.
Yeah. But Arnie goes to put on sunglasses, and then I don't know why is that a dig at Terminator 3 or is that?
I think it's a little dig at Terminator 3, but I also think it's
he had the T2 ones at the beginning in the flashback. Now, how did the Rev 9 find out where they were?
He went to... I forgot now.
He seems to be everywhere.
There was a scene, wasn't there, where he texts the helicopter. Which, again, it's another scene where it's like, I get that they're trying to dig some T-1000 vibes by having him, like, speak to people and like acquire a helicopter. But I literally would have rather seen a 20-second scene in which he just gets into a helicopter. He's on a military base. He just walks over, gets in, like maybe even has to stab a pilot and throw him out.
Yep.
That's it. Just, goes up, opens the helicopter, out you go, flies off. Boom. No need for any dialogue.
No. Because, you get to meet this general in a abandoned factory. Hang on, I got to see where I am. I'm a bit out. I think a bit ahead. Yeah, so he's having the goodbye at the moment. Right, there we go. Danny, I know why you cry.
But it is something I can never do.
It's Terminator Vision. I'm in Terminator Vision. Look at me. But yes. Oh, sorry. I was watching a bad film. Right. So now, I'm trying to see. But I was going to say, because they go to this abandoned factory, then they get discovered, then they flee back to the military base to get on a plane that flies out there. Where they just left, where they leave the military base, which has tanks, guns, missiles, 100 things that could probably stop the Rev 9 with people, an army that would help them. But
the thing is, the Rev 9 could just become one of those army people and blend in. And it's just that he wouldn't need to do much. He could just, if they kick off there, the army's going after them, and the Rev 9 just blends in and helps them. So they're dead.
Yeah. I'll protect you from the future if you shoot Danny Reyes. But yeah, apparently the phone number on the Carl's van, on his drapery van, did go to a real phone line where Arnold talked to people and said, "Hasta la vista, baby." It's been disconnected since.
Did he try and sell people drapes?
Probably. It would have made more sense. Oh yeah, there's another franchise. Halloween.
Oh,
At least they got to finish their trilogy, even though I guess the Star Wars trilogy changed as well, didn't it? Because of things happening in the world.
I just don't buy that was ever a trilogy. I just what I buy is that they had a great idea for a one-off film, and the studio said, "Yeah, but can you do 3?"
Trilogies are all the rage.
Yeah, and they're like, "I'm sure we could cook something up," because
A suitcase full of money.
Halloween 2018, like, even though it's not my favorite thing, it's a solid 3.5-star film for me.
Yeah,
it's got some very good elements, and it has a coherent story that seems to have a begin, a middle, and an end. And then, as I say, they needed a sequel, so they came back and did one,
yes,
and another one, and then said that, "Oh yes, we always planned a trilogy." Yes. Calling BS on that one.
Luckily, they stopped them at the Exodus Believer trilogy. So yeah, the one, yeah. So he's flying a helicopter right next to the truck, is it? Yeah, there he is, coming in now. Just shoots the general.
Should have been Dyson. It just explains everything, though. Just with one simple name badge, it explains everything as to why that guy is there helping them.
Right, there we go. I caught up now. So yeah, so it's like hightail it back, and then luckily he gets caught. His helicopter gets caught on a fence.
I feel like the laws of physics are being defied somewhat with that helicopter in just a moment.
Yeah, apparently, because it was Cameron's idea for the big, was it C7 plane to be part of the fight.
Right. Okay.
And then he wanted a big scene where there's like zero gravity because it's falling fast and all this. And
because Inception was good, and the Mummy then kind of had it.
Oh, yes, apparently they were too afraid to tell him that the Mummy had already done that.
Yeah.
Yes. The man mostly directly responsible is Miles Bennett Dyson. Yeah, so get on board.
I don't think I need to try that hard to justify the story perfectly. To be perfectly honest, I think I justified it pretty well at the start.
You're either a fan or you're not a fan.
Yeah.
It's like what is it? That YouTube channel where he does the writer talking to the producer. Parodies. I can't remember. But yeah, he can take the piss out of even the best films like T2. Takes out the biggest problems with them.
Is that the script meeting?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Which I can't think of.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Pitch. Oh, yeah.
Pitch meetings, isn't it? Yeah.
Something like that. Oh.
It's very memorable, obviously, because. Oh, and Sarah's still not happy that Carl's involved and giving him evils. Yeah, look at them just shooting at him.
I do think Linda Hamilton throughout this film does give some. I think she struggles sometimes with the dialogue because she's got the old gruff voice. And
yes.
But there are times when she says quite a lot with her eyes.
Yeah.
Like, so there's the scene earlier when just before they go to Carl's, when Grace says to Danny, "You can't do that. You can't put yourself in danger." And then Sarah Connor agrees, and just before Sarah says she's right, you see her processing it in the eyes, and there's a lot going on in the eyes with just the fact that she's recognizing that actually her own words there are being thrown in her face, because that's the very they're the very words she said to John.
Yeah.
And now she's got to live with that reality that is being placed on someone else who isn't her son. And it's like, yeah, just there's a lot of recognition going on in the eyes before she says, yeah, she's right. Which, you know, props
Definitely.
to Hamilton.
She does look older than Arnie, even though she's 10 years younger. Bless her.
She looks like she frequents quite a lot of pubs.
It's not the same woman from Beauty and the Beast and Black Moon Rising. So apparently the song playing when he lands in the backyard, the T Rev 9, is the one from the bar in T2.
All right. I wonder what Hamilton's twin sister looks like these days.
Unfortunately, she's passed away.
Oh, she passed away. Oh, that's
about 20 years, 20, 30 years ago.
Really? That long?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. Because, and also, well, her son's in that Terminator 2 as well. He's the kid in the playground that Sarah's playing with, the young John Connor, I should say. Might make more sense.
Mm.
But yeah, now Danny's getting tough.
Yeah. I do like the momentum of this film. I do like
it doesn't pause too much after in the second half, anyway.
Yeah, I'm never bored, and I think sometimes, like, for me, one of the key explanations or moments is when Arnie is talking about that whole time ripple effect thing, and it kind of explains a lot of stuff. And I miss that sometimes when I'm watching it because it's so just thrown out there, and then we move on.
It's just like dropped in like one sentence, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah. So, but I'm never bored. I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the important stuff is glossed over quickly.
Yeah. So as long as we get it in there, guys. As long as we get it in there, we're all good.
Oh, see, look.
Thanks.
Won't sub to me, but I'll sub to you. That's why he's doing Turtles 3 with me next month.
He just watches you. So he doesn't need to sub because he watches.
One of those people. 75% of people that watch but aren't subbed. We know who you are.
I think it's like you get all these subs, but your view count never goes up. That's the thing. It's like,
yeah, it's the 8,000 people.
Well, yeah.
Right now,
it's just,
I'm disgusted.
It doesn't do anything. I wish my subs actually reflected the people that actually watch.
Nuts! That backfired. Oh, good riddance. Good day. Right, here you go. Oh, so here's tough as nails, Danny. Yeah. We fight together against the machines. Of course, she's a genius.
Oh, sorry. This is the scene that's the worst scene.
Yeah, I
thought this was the one,
halves, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why the problem.
Yeah. It's like you shouldn't be looking up at the person that you're trying to inspire.
Join with me, or I'll beat you up.
Yeah, you come down here and
I know, yeah. She's like 8. She looks trying to be a tough person.
Yeah. And it's the way the dreadlock
dreaded
the hair, as if that's going to toughen her up somehow. Oh, she's now street because she's dreaded.
That's a good point. How far north are you?
I
Are you a 20 minute Scouser or
20? I'm 20 minutes north of Manchester. So if you got Manchester there and Liverpool there, I'm here.
Too far north. I should have checked.
Yeah.
Oh, here you come. So yeah. So now there's hundreds of people she's got in this, popping out of the rubble to help her fight. And the trouble is, Grace's younger self has such a terrible wig to make her look. She could have just her own hair. It doesn't have to be the same hairstyle she's had for 20 years.
Yeah, and that always cracks me up in movies when they do a younger version of a character, and it seems like they've never had a different hairstyle. It's just always.
Even I've changed mine.
Yeah. You look at me as an 18-year-old. I had a proper mop on my head. I've got a photo of me peeing in the wind with my hair just like. And it's just But no, she's had the same hairdo ever since childhood.
Yeah. So somehow, yes, she cuts it the same, even though there's fucking disaster happening. I think that's why. I think she's got long hair in the later bit where we see her safe.
I think in all those future scenes they should have had shaved heads because I think
that would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd make more sense in a more militaristic kind of environment where everything is about survival. It's just shave your heads. You don't want any of that crap getting caught in machines.
Yeah, Terminator's grabbing you.
Yeah, you don't want to attract lice because of the dirty environments you got to live in. It just makes sense to go bald.
Oh, the dreaded nits.
Yeah.
Hang on, you better not be from Bolton or Wigan.
No, I'm from Warrington.
That's the posh part, isn't it?
That's it. So Warrington is smack bang but it's like equidistance between Manchester and Liverpool. So we don't know whether we're Scouse or Manc. But I've moved from Warrington and now live in Rosendale. So.
Okay. Yes, who would cut the people's hair? It doesn't look like it's cut with a knife or anything. Right, so now we get the 0G very expensive scene of two big planes flying against each other.
Yeah. When I saw this bits from this in the trailer, I was kind of like, oh, really? We're going to go there? But I actually think the scene plays out pretty well.
It does.
I enjoy it.
There's a bit where Arnie turns the gun on them and you think, oh no, he's gone bad. But then he's just shooting past them to blow up the door. But yeah, and then this 0G would have been very expensive. I think it's this, when they said it was the biggest set thing they've done for this sort of scene. But the only thing I don't like is like after they escape on the Humvee with the parachutes, Grace is like holding on to the side, just like coming down.
Yeah. And
it always reminds me of the end of the Great Muppet Caper when they parachute. I think it's Scooter is parachuting down at the end of there because they get thrown off the plane.
That's the film you want to be reminded of when you're watching a Terminator film.
Is that Scooter? Oh no, it's Grace. Yes, there you go. Exactly. Where did they piss and shit in the future? The plumbing wouldn't be working.
Yeah. It's just.
Well, they didn't have much to watch on television, did they? Because was it in the first one? They're just watching a fire burn inside of TV.
Yeah, it's just it's definitely going to be an environment where you want as little to have to mess about with as possible. So shaving is the way to go.
Yeah, you're going to be barely sleeping because there's Terminators on every corner. But Rob had fish and chips tonight, so he's an honorary Brit now. If he had, I was going to say meatballs and gravy, but I can't call it what it's actually called because this stream would end very quickly.
Now get arrested for sending an awkward meme, and then you're right here with us.
I was talking about getting a cigarette when I said bum ale. Anyway. There you go. There's a missile. 2 missiles. Hit the back door. Throw him out the door. That's it. This plane is taking a very long time to go from a few thousand feet to the floor, but it doesn't have the long runway. It's like in Furious 6. Oh. Boom. Blow him up. There's liquid metal everywhere.
It's great.
Because yeah, we were.
Gets a bit fast and furious now.
It
doesn't
does now, very much so. It definitely reminds me of that sort of action. A Humvee falling from the sky, I suppose. Yeah. Parachute's not working, so it's coming in hard. Whoa. Yes. Haven't they been, yeah, was it Uncle Ben's that made them?
Oh, yeah.
Or was it Brains? Brains, I think, used to make them here, didn't they? Brains, F words. But yeah, I think it was in Genesis, we couldn't work out who sent who to kill Sarah as a kid, and then who sent Arnie because it's all messed up. And then, of course, it would have been revealed, I guess, in the sequels that they were planning. And
yeah, I can't
what
work
Matt
out
Smith
much of
was up
anything in
to.
Genesis, to be honest. I think Genesis is the one out of the 3 Terminator movies that were promised as the start of a trilogy. I think that's the one that suffers most because of its reliance on what was to come. Like, I think Salvation works as a standalone, even though they can go places with it, and this works as a standalone, even though they can clearly go places with it. Whereas Genesis doesn't.
Yeah.
You are left hanging with questions.
A lot of stuff. So, all right, don't worry, people. It'll be explained in the sequel.
Oh, will it?
Like, yeah, because it was like, oh, Matt Smith's gonna be in the new Terminator film, and then he's all in the photos with Arnie and all the other people, and he's got about
question
3
is,
minutes of screen time.
If they'd have gone ahead and done a direct sequel, just carried it on and said, look, you know what, we've committed now. We've already told people we're doing a trilogy. Let's at least do the second film and hope we can build momentum. If they'd have done that, do you think it would have done better than what Dark Fate did?
Probably not. Probably would have about the same because people weren't interested. There's people like started out strong with an incredibly dumb title, so it didn't help if no one could spell what it was titled. But yeah, I don't know. It would have to be very positive word of mouth, I think, for that if it had done it properly. Because if it just said Terminator Genesis 2 has come out, although saying that, how many people were that wanted an Avatar 2 and still made 2 billion or whatever it did, didn't they?
I think it'd be Terminator Genesises.
That would be genius marketing. Make it even more or less likely to pronounce. So yeah, I think this is the Rev 9's closest he gets to killing her. Actually, second closest. He just about pierces the armored window. You know, it's cracked on the side, ready to pop. He just stabs the window and it gets stuck.
Yeah.
But then when she becomes the hero at the end, she's meant to be, because everyone else is down and out, and then she takes on the Rev 9 on her own. Come here.
Yeah, I could have done without the dialogue. There's so many times that I feel like they put dialogue in a place where none is needed. And I don't mean just for Dark Fate, I mean films in general.
Yeah.
So many points where it's like, just pull the trigger, pull the damn trigger. You don't need to say anything. It's like the act of pulling the trigger says all that needs to be said.
Oh, yeah, there he is on the car. Yeah, there's a lot of underwater stuff here, which is obviously very expensive as well. There's this 0G stuff, which we just saw, which is very expensive. Yeah, so they keep shooting at this damn guy with just guns, and a handgun doesn't slow him down. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I loved it. I think obviously my biggest critique would be that it does feel like a bit of a greatest hits. It's clearly a bit of a greatest hits, but on the flip side of that, I think there are some elements it takes from previous movies where it actually improves them.
Ooh.
So
I need to give it a rewatch to make sure about before.
Yeah, like for example, my two criticisms when I reviewed it were what I just said about the Greatest Hits thing and dropping the "Get away from her, you bitch" quote. It just, I hate when they do that. I hate when they use a classic line as if it's the line itself that makes it a classic, and it's not. And it's like, particularly with that line as well. That's a line that was said from one mother to another mother. That was the whole theme around the movie. So it had a very specific resonance coming from Ripley to the alien queen.
Yeah.
So when it's coming from the mouth of this android who's never going to experience motherhood, it's the worst possible use of that line. It's literally just a, hey, remember that famous line from Aliens? We're going to use it again.
Yeah, that's where it lost me. The first half I really enjoyed. It's like, oh, this is proper Alien. And then it's remember this, remember this, remember this.
Yeah,
this gun, this pose, this thing, this shot, this.
So like a lot, like there's stuff in there where, okay, they take the alien human hybrid concept from Alien Resurrection, which was terrible in Alien Resurrection, but he's actually pretty damn scary in Alien Romulus. So they improved that. They actually made it work, used it quite effectively. So yeah, for me, it's that line. It's the use of that dialogue in particular, because of how much it really means to Ripley and how much it really is a part of about her character and her journey. But beyond that, I loved the feel of it. I loved the tone of it. I thought the effects for the most part were great. I like the new characters, like the two that we get, the android and the girl. And I think it's a really great setup that brings him to a place where now Fede Alvarez can go places and do what he wants with it, and hopefully bring us something more fresh. But
anyway, Mike, back to the Terminator franchise.
Yeah.
Why don't I highlight his comment? But so Cameron has said this sucks now. Yes, he has. Of course, he was trying to. He said Genesis was. What did he say? Genesis. Was it? Yeah, it was the real sequel to T2. And then, of course, he wrote this.
Really? Yeah, just.
I meant that. Yeah, he turned around on this one as well.
Yeah. Never good when they backtrack. I wish they'd just have the balls to commit to.
Well, yeah, it's like Margaret Kidder with Superman 4. When she was on the talk show, she couldn't had it hard to say something nice about it. This film needed more men. No, this film was teaching misogynists like you, Michael Myers, that I don't know what it was, because the director got slated for saying it, didn't he? This will put misogynistic men in their place or make them think differently. Of course, that did not help its box office at all.
Like, I wish they'd just leave those comments. Just don't go there. Just let the film speak for itself.
Yeah, you can work
hire,
it out.
Just hire an actress that is going to be believable in the part, and then the film would actually do pretty well in delivering the goods.
Yeah.
Like, I'll stand by the Grace character just because of what Mackenzie Davis brings to it. I think she's.
Yeah, she can fight a Terminator because she is half Terminator.
Yeah.
Like, although she just picks up a big wrench. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Come and fight me. So yeah, all he has to do is get past 4 of them, and he does it very easily.
I think it would have been nice here for someone to explain a plan, because because they just say this is the kill box, so we're going to kill him here. It would have been nice for someone to just go, okay, but just exactly how are we going to do that?
Yeah, because she's got a chain that she spins fast. I'm just missing an arm.
Well, if somebody could have just said, look, get him in there, and hopefully that'll take care of business. But
Yes, see, men did think differently. They didn't go and see the film. But yeah, so Arnie, yeah, all they're doing is damaging his outer shell, or liquid bit gooey outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the physics of this fight that doesn't work. Like throwing Arnie across the floor. And she's, ooh, I got a spinning chain. And he's got massive arms and knives, and he gets her a good one. And yeah, Sarah's got a shotgun that Danny's luring him to the spinning thing, and of course, does the T2 thing where she doesn't have enough shotgun shells. And it does the other thing of same thing happened in the other Terminator films. As soon as the Terminator gets near someone, he just throws them out of the way instead of just like killing them.
Always annoys me. That's my biggest gripe with
I know.
Salvation is
Yes,
that
that's the worst
you
one.
have got Kyle Reese in your metal hands,
Yes.
and you don't grab his head and crush it like a grape.
Yeah, he goes, oh yeah, rip
You
him in half or
throw
anything.
him away.
Oh,
from you.
out the way.
It's like, oh, now I've got to come and get you again. Why did I throw you over there? It's like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I'll just throw you towards this weapon.
It's like the first Terminator film did such a good job of making you feel like I do not want him to touch me. If he gets his hands on me, I'm dead.
Yes.
And that's because it was a low-key, like, horror film, which wasn't all, massive explosions and CGI and stuff. And it was down to earth. So the moment you get into all these big budget kind of explosions and goodness knows what, you have to find ways to keep separating the character from the Terminator. So then it just becomes really, dumb.
Because, they've got him by a chain around his mouth and then dragging him towards the spinning bit. But he's been popping spikes out and doesn't seem to be affecting Arnie, but it's affecting Grace because she's got to keep dodging him.
Yeah.
And then they're just pulling him as tight as they can. And
I like the effect on that on the face when it's like proper ripping into his jaw.
So a lot of because was it the teaser trailer? People complained that the effects look shit when because it was that whole scene of him getting hit by spikes and then separating and in the car chase. And it does look better in the finished product, but a lot of other stuff is ropey. Because it was cheaper to do it with CGI than have Stan Winston turn up. Yawning at the thought of T7. It's... I don't know, because there's no one they could put in it that would make people go to see it.
You need to start again. It needs to be a clean slate.
Yeah, a small budget, clean slate. Yeah. Like Bond should do as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't need $200 million movies.
But as ropey as some of these sequels get, it is still one of my favorite franchises. And if Terminator 7 came out, I'd be there opening night.
Yeah, I'd still go to see it. So it's just the same thing. That's the trouble, isn't it? So you got Sarah with the unlimited shotgun ammo. She obviously learned from T2. And then you got Arnie's out.
Supposedly.
And then Grace is down and damaged. But the Rev 7 is Rev 9, is still with us. He's somewhere.
Do you think Arnie's T800 here is just he's lying down on the job, just waiting for Sarah to call him Carl?
Yeah, I'm not getting up until she apologizes.
He's like, bitch, until you call me Carl, I am moving. I am moving for nothing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say this is another one where you don't see the T1000 type's vision. You see you always see the T-800s, doesn't you, with his Mac operating system. Yeah, he's covered. No, yeah, so he's lost his molten metal, liquid metal. Yeah. So yeah, I can't hurt. And so we get the same ending as Terminator 3, where a power source is used to destroy the Terminator. We get the same as Terminator Salvation, where the Terminator's got liquid metal on him and it's hardening.
Yeah. It's like the fact of the matter is, I think you did everything you could do with this franchise in those 2 movies. And then after that, it's just a case of studios saying, look, we need money.
Yeah, they keep saying that, oh, we're doing it, but that just backfires as soon as they do it for the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's picking up a gun. She's got a big girl pants on now. And then the Rev 9's taken back by shotgun blasts. Yeah, and now she just hits it.
Yeah.
We're supposed to believe she could hit it so hard that it would knock it back. And then she jumps on it, and it actually does put his arm up to stop it, but
I do like the fact, though, that essentially she gets owned here, and it's only because the T-800 intervenes that she actually is able to win.
Help her, Carl. Yeah, so it's got her by the throat right now, and then we've got he's got her by the throat for
too long for it.
Yeah, 15 seconds nearly. And he's
like,
just
what are you waiting for? Crush her larynx.
He could just like separate her head.
Oh,
but no, she's tough. Die.
My neck is made of iron.
But yeah, so the human person is touching a metal object with a massive electric battery.
The thing is, when the metal hand is around the throat, your 2 puny human hands doing that on its wrist don't really cut it, because all the fingers I've got to do is and that's it. It's just like
stop ripping into this film.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it's the T-800 sacrificing himself. So,
but that's not a problem with just Dark Fate. That's a problem with every Terminator sequel after T2. So I will criticize Dark Fate for this, but I level that criticism at every other Terminator sequel besides T2.
Yeah, and then he's holding the Terminator down while it blows up, just like in T3 as well. And they say Hollywood's run out of ideas. Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I did mention the scene there where it's peeling his skin back off his arm.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, and then he's burning for some reason. But John. Oh, that makes it all right. Oh dear.
It's Canadian. All right. Okay.
Is he in prison as well as being from the... It's two go hand in hand, really.
Something against the old Scousers there, have we?
And Manx, Newcastle.
And Manx.
Scottish, Irish, French.
All right. So, you're not prejudiced. You just hate everyone.
The uneducated.
Yeah. The unwashed.
People that had minors in their family. Yeah, he had plenty of time to break her. And then Arnie's lights. But Arnie's lights have all gone off, but then he's still functioning for a few seconds with his vision.
Yeah. It's just for me, like the tension should always come in the Terminator getting ever so closer to you. The moment he's got hold of you, that's it. It's over. Sorry, it's done. And that should not be in a Terminator film. should not be a scene in which a Terminator's got hold of you. 'Cause that's
No.
it. You're dead.
Yeah, because what is it? Terminator 1 right at the end, he just reaches out before he's crushed. And,
Yeah.
you know, he would
Yeah.
kill her instantly if he
Yeah.
a thumb and a finger on her, not on anything else.
Mm.
Anyway, this it still looks like a fucking wig. This Grace with pigtails in the play park. But yes, well, hello. Thank you very much for that. I came across time for me. I love you, always have. I should have said that. Ah, have little hearts. Not much I can throw back at you. I need to get some positive replies because I've only got negative ones. So you can have something negative.
Fuck you! Fuck you! And fuck you! Who's next?
So I need to get something positive. Stuff like that. So here we go. The ending. Dana is the all-powerful badass now.
Mm.
Going off to stop Legion being made.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do that because they stopped Skynet and it just happened again. No problema. Chill out, dickwad.
Chill out, dickwad.
Let's book.
It's going to be under pressure.
Ors, not mine ors. It's like the difference between gorillas and gorillas.
Uh-huh. Although technically, you could just say that was the gag. Anyone who's had kids listening.
Yes, hey everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, it's finished. Right, so there we go. That was an hour and 58. So there's 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I forgot to mention David Escoyer was involved in this, who's 50-50 on what he can do.
Well, it's often not a good sign, is it? If he like,
Yeah,
I think Goyer is pretty good at breaking a story, but then if you take a story he's broken and put it into the hands of someone who can then actually write the script, like Christopher Nolan, you tend to get some gold. But if he does all the writing, then it tends to be like,
yeah. Well, there's 5 credited story people.
Always good.
And then 3 screenplay writers. Yeah, David Escoyer has hits and misses. Like he does stuff like Dark City, Dark Knight, Superman versus Batman, and see something. Basically, anything in the last 30 years.
So basically, anything with the word "dark" in the title is pretty good for me.
Yeah, he did Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh,
The Unborn, Jumper.
I kind of like Jumper. I low-key
I did like Jumper. I will admit
Yeah,
that. It was fun. Blade 2, Blade Trinity. He directed, of course. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Hasselhoff version. Crow, City of Angels. Demonic Toys. Kickboxer 2, and Death Warrant. So there's some good in there. Yes, 10 minutes of credits. And they're tiny writing, so you can't even read them to see what they say.
That's because people didn't want to take any blame. This is this. So, yeah, Blade Trinity was a travesty.
Yeah. Well, this is mostly Snipes' fault, isn't it? Though, although Dracula was miscast in that one.
Yeah, that was a major case of miscasting.
It's
got, like, a character that should be absolute charisma, and they got the biggest plank of wood that they could possibly find.
Yeah, they got the wrong brother from Prison Break.
Yeah, absolutely.
The magic that was Kickboxer too, yes.
They really did get the wrong brother from. Because imagine if it had been the other brother from Prison Break.
Yeah, he's got some. Poor guy never cut a break. Because what did he get? Resident Evil films, didn't he?
Oh man, I mean, he wrote thingy though, didn't he? That
yes, I'm trying to think what it is.
Stoker, is it? Stoker?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but yes, Frightfully Forgotten Movies have just done one of them has just done a re-edit of the end fight for Kickboxer 2 because the end fight is piss poor because they shot it all in slow motion with bad music. So he's made it faster and more better music. So if you want to see what that would look like, because it was supposed to be the big fight, but with Tong Po, but it never worked out.
Blade. Yeah.
Yes, new Blade coming in. When was the
About
Eternals?
2057 due to come out. Yeah.
Yeah, when was it Ashid Ali or whatever his name is? He's in his 50s now, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, that ain't happening. That film ain't happening.
No, they've aborted that.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom Poe's mask. He's not the same actor. It's very bad makeup in Kickboxer 4.
Quite frankly, they should have just brought Wesley Snipes back for good after Deadpool and Wolverine. They should have just brought
the window then. Knock out a quick film with Blade in it and Wesley Snipes, but it's all gone now. Yes, I've heard Flight Risk. Looks like it's coming. Right, 96. That's the positive to me, but
that is kind of what I need right now, to be honest.
Right. So. Mark Wahlberg with a bald cap.
It's like one of the favorite TV shows of the last few years has been Reacher, just because it's simple. It's simple.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't need any agenda throwing at me. I just want to see a big guy beating the crap out of other guys who need the crap beating out of them. It's great.
I think it was the season 2 opener where the guy sitting in the car, and he walks up to just kicks the fucking car, so the airbag goes off and just knocks the guy and then punches him and drags him out of the car.
Great.
Just like
Great
that's
stuff.
Exactly what you need.
Great stuff.
Yeah, season 3 starts next month, doesn't it?
Yeah, I really hope that he's going to be Batman in James Gunn's DCU.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah,
I was very close to getting an interview with him, but it hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
and he's always busy because he's so popular right now. Although the League, not the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What was it called? Gentlemanly Warfare. He was in that.
Guy Ritchie's. Yeah,
and then he was in Fast X, of course. And how far away was that now? Before Fast 11 comes out.
Yeah, it's a long way off, isn't it?
They haven't even made it. So
I always forget he was in Hunger Games: Catching Fire.
Yes,
as well. Yeah,
but I can't remember him in that. Or
of course, I remember him as in his days as Aquaman in Smallville.
Yes, in the orange and green.
The thing is, when I saw him in Smallville back, I'm a massive Smallville fan. But even I, as a massive Smallville fan, looked at him in that and said, he's never going to amount to anything. Oh, how wrong I was. It was just, It didn't feel like he could act when he was in Smallville, but he's come on so much over the years, like really developed, I think.
Because you think being Jack Reacher's just stand there and beat the shit out of people, but he brings a lot more intensity to it and charm. He knows how to do deadpan comedy as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, I've not seen much of Titans, but
nor have I. No, he was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. From the stuff I've seen of him in that, he does seem to be a bit of a standout in that show. So,
but yes, I have now finished the 6 films out of order. But yeah, I think I did Terminator 2, then 1 last year or the year before. And now we've done the dregs.
So go on, rank all 6 Terminator films.
So I'm gonna go 1, starting from the top. 1, 2, Genesis, then Terminator 3, then Dark Fate, then Salvation. So suck on that.
No.
How dare you, sir? This is my channel.
No. No.
Wanted opinions. You've got opinions, whether you like them or not.
T2, T1.
Oh, good.
I've always been like Dark Fate and Salvation are kind of like that. I think more recently I will say Salvation, Dark Fate, then Genesis, and then right down here underneath a load of crap
on the bottom.
underneath like Superman 4, Quest for Peace, and all that stuff is Terminator 3
Hey.
buried in the rubble. Yeah.
Well, this must be the last time Brian's on the channel. I'm waiting for someone to put. There's a few rankings here. I have to find them. Hang on. So T1, T2, Dark Fate, others joint last for Michael Myers. I have to agree. I'm afraid I do agree that Salvation, whilst I applaud it trying to be original, is rather dull. Right? Someone's. It's just over our heads. We're just
Talk to the hand.
Yes, Elton John's glasses and all. Damn.
I hate the production design in T3 as well. Like, you know, when they do the T1s, like in the
the big monster thing. Yeah,
they just look plastic. They don't look metal at all. They look.
I will give you that. Yeah,
plastic.
they do. And then I still can't work out how she can use nanotes to drive a police car, but because they're the get out of a jail card for any writer, aren't they? Hacking something and then nanites.
I don't understand how a liquid metal over an endoskeleton is more advanced than a purely liquid metal Terminator. Personally.
Plus, yeah, how did they get the liquid metal through the thing that doesn't take metal? Just because he looks like a human on the outside. Obviously fools the computers. Damn. There were rankings. I've lost them now. I should have starred them. There's too many people in the chat. That's the problem. Never mind. I can't go far. See if anyone else has done those. Okay, here we go. So it's T1 and T2 and the rest. I think everyone pretty much agrees on that one. I don't think anyone.
The rest are all fan fiction to varying degrees.
Yes.
But I do genuinely like Dark Fate, and I think it gets a bad rap. I think some of the criticism's valid, but I think a lot of it is just people like just these days. Something is either the best film.
Well,
ever,
yeah, it is.
It's
like
the worst film.
It is
ever.
That way around, isn't it? It's very sad. Trances and Runaway are better than T3. I would watch those two films over Terminator sequels like that. Yes, that is true. Oh, and then we've got 3 is better than Salvation.
Nah.
T3 looked like a TV movie.
It did. It was shot in daylight. It's like, you know, when you see sitcoms and they're all shot with that kind of orangey glow because it's just your basic lighting setup. That's what T3 looks like.
Oh dear, that's a level. It's the Garbage Pail Kids. I think I only watched that 1.5 times ever.
The only movie I won't watch instead of T3 is Sausage Party, I think. So
you're not going to review Sausage Party 2 this year then?
Are you kidding? There's a sequel?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh my
It's your duty,
word.
Could be good.
Man.
Ooh.
That was the first review on my channel that took off, was my Sausage Party review.
Because it was not positive.
Mm-hmm. Showing that people love the drama.
Shocking Dark is better than T3.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing.
Yes, 2 hours of the test card is better than T3. Oh dear. All the haters going to hate now.
Yeah. Sensible people.
Well, yes, after this month, it's probably going to be a very long time before I watch any of those sequels again. Because I watched T2 last month.
Yeah, I do genuinely believe that T3 is that bad. But the rest, I'm with you. I'm like, I can watch any one of them anytime and be perfectly entertained, perfectly happy. It's just if I want to watch cinema, it's 1 and 2.
Are you not going to the anniversary watch in? I guess it's It's going to be a few years now, 7 years or something like that. But yeah, poor Austin saw Genesis in 3D, but that was cool. Or dark. Yeah, I was going to say shocking dark. What film is that? But I
Painful.
worked it out.
And flipping Dr. Silberman as well in T3.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
What's his name? Earl Bowen. He's gone as well.
Like, if you are going to bring him back, do something with him. Make him an ally. Make it.
Well, yes, he could have been useful, couldn't he?
He could have
away.
actually had a character arc. You know, the first film, he's all cocky. I don't know who this girl is, this, that, and the other. The second film, he's all thinks he's the expert, and he's trying to tell her that she's all full of it. And he actually sees with his own eyes the T-1000 going through the grate. So the third film, you make him an ally. You make him someone who is now believing her story and helps in some way. But instead, you just turn him into this joke of a character that got no business being there, but just shows up because
because it's a medical emergency, not a psychological one.
It's pathetic. It's really pathetic. I hate it. I hate that film. I hate it with a passion.
Hang on, if you've got 2 hours, we can pop it on now.
No, no way.
All right.
I vowed never to watch it again.
Oh yes, I forgot about the Italian T2 film that's out there, isn't there? But completely just a rip-off poster more than anything. Oh, apparently Mike's advertising himself that he's live tomorrow night. So looking at retro magazines, which was his idea, but I started on my channel, but then he's stealing it back. Yeah. I'm trying to think of them. But yeah. There was this film. The CGI is quite hidden because there's that making of. I think it's on when the film came out, and then it's the director saying, "Right, yeah, this car is fake. This door wasn't there. This car is fake. This is a CG car. That's a CGI driver, and all this, and just basically circling everything on this page of the truck chase at the beginning. That was all fake, but."
Yeah, there's that bit in T3 as well where he drives the car at the TX, but he does it by essentially running over John and Watson.
Oh yeah, bounces the car.
Yeah, I said, I'm sorry, but I don't care how precise you are as a machine. There's no way you could have known with 100% certainty that wasn't going to kill their ass. It's just like you're just the most reckless. Like you've endangered your mission in a way that was just ridiculously reckless. So, yeah,
everyone's hating on T3. All haters.
Yeah.
Terminator Future Shock. I did play Future Shock, I believe, back in the day.
Oh,
but I wasn't any good at it.
I'm not a gamer. The only game I've ever really played with any kind of seriousness was the first Resident Evil, and I've not really played anything since.
I could never do the fucking tank controls on that. I always got killed by just spinning in circles and the zombies came at me instead of going forward. Stupid kids' toy bands. Oh dear, we're all upset tonight, aren't we? Right. Let's have a look. I'm gonna wrap this up. Even though it's a Saturday night, we're old. Unless you're going out tonight, are you?
Me? I'm in bed. I'm in bed.
Nightclub's open till 6.
Oh man, no.
Okay.
I was never a nightclubber, even in my youth. So I'm sure as hell ain't gonna be one now.
I was at the cinema at midnight sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll do midnight showings, because I used to be a projectionist.
Of course, yes.
So, yeah.
I hated the Grace character even more than Emilia Clarke's Sarah Connor version, as like with her, she's a cow. That's
it's insane talk. That is insane talk.
Well, I'll just wrap this up because I spy you got the same poster as me as I obsessed of the Batman, and now we're still another year or two away from a sequel, if ever.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you've seen the
Aha! Who is
you go.
that? Dr. Honeydew. Nice. Right, so yes, Mike's off. One of my friends asked me to go with him and watch his band play in a bar until 11 p.m. tonight, and I said I was busy. I am busy with me. With you. Yes, you can sit at home watching us on the internet, or you can go out somewhere. And...
Be with people in a crowd.
Did you spill my pint? We'll just give you this recreation. Nothing wrong with that. Yes. Yes, thank you anyway, everyone in the chat. And of course, Brian for hopping on for this one.
Yeah, pleasure.
No. Yes. And on that bombshell, everyone's too old for going out at night. Yeah.
Sure, there's a lethal weapon quote here that applies.
Yes, and with that, we'll say good night and thanks everyone for joining us tonight. I'm sure we had a good time anyway. All right. Goodbye.